Vai Guru, 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 Vai Guru,
Vai
Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru,
Vai
Guru,
Vai
Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru,
Vai
Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru,
Vai
Guru, Vai Guru, Vai Guru,
Vai Vai
Guru, Vai, 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸੁਣ ਸਾਸਤ ਸੁਦਾਗਰੀ ਸੱਤ ਘੋੜੇ ਲੈ ਚੱਲ ਖਰਚ ਬਨ ਚੰਗਿਆਈਆਂ ਮਤ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਕੱਲ ਨਿਰੰਕਾਰ ਕੈ ਦੇਸ਼ ਜਾਏ ਤਾਂ ਸੁਖ ਲਹੈ ਮਹਲ। ਸੁਣ ਸਾਸਤ ਸੁਦਾਗਰੀ। Maharaj is telling our mind to start listening to the wisdom, to start listening to the spiritual wisdom. Start listening to Gurbani Guru. Whatever Gurbani is saying, do the trading of Naam. Sun Sast Sudagri Sat. Sat here is not seven. Sat here is Sach. Sach Naam. Sat Naam. Do a Sudagri of Naam. Do a trading of Naam. Sat Naam. Sun Sast Sudagri Sat Kode. Sat Kode Le Chal. Make your mind a horse which is in your control. Sat Kode Le Chal. Because in the old days, the trading used to happen when the traders used to go, they used to have the horses and they used to put all their merchandise on the horses and they used to do the trading. Maharaj is telling us, may do it with wisdom. Do a Sacha Sauda, just like GuruNanak Dev Ji did a Sacha Sauda. People think GuruNanak Dev Ji did a Sacha Sauda by just giving the langar. He did a Sacha Sauda, a trading of Naam, a Shabad, Gurmat. The spiritual wisdom was there. That's why, obviously, in every Gurdwaras also, that's why we have a langar, right? We are langar so that people's stomach is all full, so that their mind is not wandering. Similarly, Kabir Sahib is going to tell us how to do the Saudagri also. How to make our mind a horse which is in our control. Because normally, horses can go out of control very fast until or unless the reins are in your hand. So Maharaj is saying, Sun Sast Sudagri, have a spiritual wisdom for your mind horse so that you can do the trading of Naam. Kharch ban changyaiya, and your karams also has to be good. Your lifestyle has to be good. Kharch ban changyaiya, mat man jane kal. Can they don't think that it's gonna be tomorrow, something you can do tomorrow. Today is the time to do all the good deeds. Nirankar ka desh jaye, ta sukh lehar mahal. Can they then only your mind can go to Vaheguruji's house, mahal. Nirankar ka desh mein. Then only it can go to the town of Nirankar, to the Sachkhand. Nirankar ka desh jaye, ta sukh lehar mahal. Then you will get a peace and happiness. And we can go to the house of Vaheguru, Nirankar formless Vaheguru, while we are in this body, while we are there here in this physical body. But we have to control our horse mind. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਘੋੜਾ ਮਨ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸਾਡਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ 'ਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ. Gaudi, Kabir ji. So it's a continuation. Yesterday we discussed about the samritis and all, right? That how the samritis control our mind. Kabir Sahib says, no, don't make samritis control your mind. Manu Samriti, all these rituals control your mind. Make sure the Naam, that Shabad can control your mind. Because mind has to be controlled. Either mind will be controlled by somebody, by these doots, by these karamkand, these rituals, or mind can be controlled by the Naam, by the Shabad. Gaudi Kabir ji, De Muhar Lagam Pehravo, Sagal Tajeen Gagan Doravo. If you want to the Gagan, Gagan as in Akash, 10th Gagan, Dasma Akash, Man Chadya, Dasme Akash. If you want to go to the Dasam Dwar, if you want to go to the house of Vaheguru, what we have to do is, De Mohar Lagam Pehravo. Just like you see a horse, you have reins. If the reins, you have full control of the reins of the horse, then you can control the horse. Similarly, if the reins of Shabad, if the reins of the Gurbani Guru, the wisdom is there in our hand, then only we can control our mind. Otherwise, mind will go out of the control. Mind will go behind the lust, greed, anger, attachment, ego. Mind will not be in the control. That's why when they train you for the horse riding and everything, they give you have to choose a horse, and the horse you have to understand there has to be a chemistry between you and the horse. Similarly, we have to make sure our horse mind also is in our control. Lagam, the reins are in our hand. De muhar, the reins of the horse, it goes in the horse's mouth, right? So another thing is Maharaj is telling us that use your senses also sensibly. Don't do gossiping and slandering. You should have a good character. The karams should be good. Muhar is the reins always go in the mouth of the horse. If our mouth is not in our control, if the tongue is not in our control, then we will do gossiping and slandering. We will use the banned language, right? We have to control our mind. De muhar lagam pehravo. The reins, put the reins, the Shabad rein. If the Shabad is there in the mouth, then we'll not do gossiping and slandering. We'll not say bad things to others. Sagal tajeen, if we will control our senses, if I control these doots, then only we can go to the Gagan Dorao. Then only our mind can be in peace and we can go to the Mahal, to our own house, to Vaheguruji's house. Otherwise, we cannot. That's why we have to understand these doots are there, and doots are controlling our senses. Our senses are looking outside. ਇੰਦਰੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਸ ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ, ਉਹ ਇੰਦਰੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨੇ. And with the wisdom of Gurbani, the wisdom of Guru, we can make these senses go inside. Right now, the time is there for, let's say, Brahm Vichar. Gurbani Vichar. The time is there for the Simran. But we say, oh, forget it. Let's look into my phone. Let me, go to the reels. Let's watch TV. Let's watch movies and all. That means our mind is not in our control. Let's go to the Facebook. Let's go to the, I don't know even anybody use Facebook now, but let's use social media or whatever it is, right? De muhar lagam pehrawo. कहते लगाम होनी चाहिए. The reins should be in your control. The rein of Shabbat, the rein of Gur Shabbat should be in your control for the horse to be in control. Sagal tajeen gagan daravo. Then your mind, your surt will follow the Shabbat. So if you see a horse rider, wherever he will, uh, put the reins, let's say if it will, put it on the right hand side and it will force the horse's mouth on the right hand side, the horse will start going on the right. It will go take it on the left, it will start going on the left. But the horse's reins are in his control. Similarly, if the mind is in our control, and if we have a rein of a Shabad, then the horse mind will not go left or right, it will go to Gagan, Akash, Daswaं Dwar, Waheguru Ji's Mahal. Apne bichar asravi कीजै, apne bichar aswari कीजै. You ride based on your mind, right? You have to make your mind. If my mind is not Jyotsru, right? If my mind is fishy, if my mind has problems, mind has a lot of desires, what does that mean? Then mind will go behind the desires. Similarly, if you're riding a horse, right, and if you don't know where horse has to go, what is the right place, the horse will go here and there. Maharaj says, apne bichar. Make sure that you have that gyan, you have that wisdom, where to bring your mind. We don't have a gyan. That's why some people say, oh, what is the need of Gurbani? This is a lot of need of Gurbani. Because if we don't have Gurbani Guru with us, we'll not have the gyan, will not have a wisdom, spiritual wisdom. Without spiritual wisdom, our mind will go astray. It will go here and there. So just like a rider need to have a full control in the horse's mouth, right? The reins, in the control of the reins. So through the Shabad, we have to control our mind. Apne bichar aswari कीजै, सहज के पावड़े pag tar लीजै. Now, if you will see the full, the reins and the full thing, which you put it on the top of the, I don't know what it is called, which you put on the top of the horse, and then there is a place where you can put a feet also, right? So Maharaj is saying, make Sahaj as your seat. Don't force your mind. This is the biggest problem. Hut, we call in Punjabi hut. The yoga is also hut. We force our mind to do things, and what happens is, whenever you will force somebody, you can force it for a little time, maybe for an hour, for 2 hours, for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, then you will give up. Maharaj is saying this is a path of Sahaj, a Sahaj peace, path of love. Make sure your feet, as in your mind, is in peace. That's why there are steps in the wisdom. Some people, they try to bring their mind in peace through breathing meditation. They will focus on the breathing, the natural breathing, right? Some people, they will do something else. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave us the Guru Mantar. Vaheguru Guru Mantar hai jap home khoi. First, we have to jap the Guru Mantar and bring our mind in Sahaj. Till the time our mind is not in Sahaj, till the time we don't have our feet in place, our mind is not in the place, the mind has no love, we are forcing our mind to come in the Sangat, we are forcing it. Initially, you might have to force a little bit, but you have to be in the act. Some people, they will come in the sangat, and I see that physically many times. Let's say there are 50 people sitting in the sangat, and because I am facing them, nobody's looking at each other, but I'm looking at them. What I see is a lot of people, even when the Simran is happening, they're not doing the Simran. They're not doing Simran. They're just sitting there. They're looking here and there. Some people are holding their phone, and even in the Sangat, they are doing it. That means you are not putting your mind there. You're forcing to sit there. For whatever reason, you are there, but your mind is not there. So initially, the Simran can be little bit difficult because it can be bland. That's why we read in Gurbani, Akhan Okha Sacha now. But slowly, when you will come in the Sangat with the love, with the pyar, man ch soch ke aao main jabardasti nahi ja raha, main pyar karna hai. I'm here to learn how to love. Do the adas benti. The love doesn't come like overnight, right? It takes time. And more we will be in the act, it will become more lovey. And sometimes people force their kids also because we don't do give the gyan. Love will only come with the gyan, with the wisdom. The wisdom, why we are here, who are we, what is the purpose of our life. If these questions are not answered, the love will not be there. Then mind will go astray. That's why Maharaj says, Sahaj ke pavade. Though we need to have the Sahaj, and Sahaj will come through the Guru Mantra. Pagatar lijay. Can they make sure you make your feet, your wisdom controlled by the Sahaj. See, wisdom will only come in peace, in patience. If you are in hurry, if your mind is in hurry and you are going here and there, and you will never get a wisdom. Your mind has to be peace. So even this is a technique. When you're reading the Gurbani or listening to the Katha, you have to do Simran first. Saas Gira Simran first. Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru. That's why Maharaj saying, Apne bichar aswari kijay. सहज के पावड़े pag tar lije rahao. Can I make sure your mind is in rest, mind is in peace, and you use the spiritual wisdom, the wisdom apne bichwar swari ki. Ride on the spiritual wisdom. The Buddha, the intellect should be Guru's mat, not your own mat. How can we have a Guru's mat and not our mind's mat? When we will be humble, when we will have a humility. ਜਦੋਂ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, we do an ਅਰਦਾਸ, ਮਨ ਨੀਵਾ ਮਤ ਉੱਚੀ. When our mind will go humble, then only our buddhi will go uchi. When the mind will be humble, then only we can be in peace. If mind is thinking, oh, I know better than this person, or I know whatever is happening in the Gurbani, I already know. A lot of people will say that. I already know what is the purpose of life. No, whenever we are saying I know, that means we don't know. Every time you will read the Gurbani, it is so powerful, Guru Pyareo. You will learn something new. Learn something new. Even the same Shabad, if you will start repeating it, that's why the repetition was there, so that you can make a repetition so that you can get more wisdom. But what we have done is we have made it a ritual. We read ritualistically, not to learn, but to do a ritual. We read the Nitnem also as a ritual. We are not reading the Nitnem to learn something. If you start looking into the Japji Sahib every day and you start try to learn something, every day you will learn a khajana. It's a treasure. But we can only learn when our mind is humble, meaning mind is there to learn and mind is in peace. Sahaj ke pavad hai, pag tar lijay. Can they make Sahaj as your, just like a rider will put a feet in that strap of the horse so that his feet cannot go here and there. If the mind will be in Sahaj, in peace, mind will also not go here and there. And you control the reins, the lagam of the horse, mind, and then you can go to the Bekunt. Chal re Bekunt, tujhe le taro. then that Shabad will take you to the heaven. Heaven here does not mean some physical heaven. Heaven means Sachkhand, right? That is basically a place where there is just light. ਇੱਥੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਦੇਹੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਭ sorry ਇੱਥੇ ਰਾਤ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਭ ਦੇਹੋ. That is, there is a light all the time. There is a light there. And I probably are misquoting here, but there's always a light, prakash there. When I say prakash, Guru Pyareo, we have to be very clear about it, right? What is the prakash? Prakash is the wisdom. When we come out of the darkness, all these worldly rituals are darkness. It's all dark, right? When we judge others, when our mind is controlled by these five doots, it's all darkness. Bhakant is the place where there is no darkness, where it is all love, where it is all light, where there is total peace. Chal re Bekuntha tujhe le taro. We have to cross this ocean. We have to cross this Maya ocean, these desires. Hiche ta prem ke chabuk maru. You know, it is not prevalent now. In old days, they used to, whenever they used to ride the horse, not only reins, they used to have a chabuk. The chabuk is, there was a whip. You can call it a whip. They used to have a whip in their hand, and they used to put a whip on the horse so that horse can go more faster, faster, faster. Maharaj says the whip has to be the love, pyar. Chalare bekunte tujhe le taro. We have to whip our mind with love. Gaviye suniye man rakhiye pao. Sarvani suniye rasna gaiye hidde te aiye soe. Jin prem kiyo tinhi prabh payo. Prem de naal samjhana man nu, right? With love. Hiche ta prem ka chabuk maru. You have to beat your mind. How you have to beat your mind? Through love. Pyar de naal. Okay, chal. You have to do adas benti, so that your mind can, through the Shabad, it can take you to the Vaiguruji's house. Kahat Kabir Pale Aswara. That rider, that horse rider is good. It's a good rider, the best rider. Ved Katev Te Rahe Nirara. It is not stuck in the rituals of the Vedas, the rituals of Quran, Bible, and all, right? All these rituals, wherever the rituals are there, and if we are making the rituals out of Gurbani also, then also it is not good, because Gurbani sets you free. Gurbani doesn't put you in rituals. We try to make rituals also out of the Gurbani. Kabir Sahib was very, very blunt. He said, use these scriptures for the spiritual wisdom, for the liberation, not to make yourself constrained in these things. That's a love. Vaiguruji has nothing to do with our physical body, Guru Pyareo, right? How we treat our physical body, that's how we judge people. Physical body's rehat is important for this world, but for Vaiguruji's house, what is important is how is your mind. Mostly the reflection of your physical body is your mind also. The reflection of the mind is your physical body also, but it is not 100% true. Somebody's mind can be very dirty and the physical body can be very beautiful, right? So that's why Maharaj says, I don't want to get into the rituals of Ved and Katev, that you have to do this, you have to do that, use some rituals. You have to go to the Tirath, you have to go to the pilgrimages, and then only you. Says, no. Ved Katev te rahe nirara. I don't want to get stuck in those rituals. I don't want to go to the 68 Tiraths. I don't want to go to the pilgrimages. I don't want to go to the Makkah and Medina. I don't want to go to here and there. No pilgrimages. I don't want to go to the Darbar Sahib for the sake of Darbar Sahib, right? Why we go to the Darbar Sahib? Why we go to the Harmandir Sahib? We need to know the reason, because Guru Sahib has created a map. Every time we go inside the Darbar Sahib, what are we learning there? We are learning that that's the map of the Dasam Dwar. We go to the Keshgar Sahib. Anandpur Sahib. We know it's a map of our Dasam Dwar. And then we read and then we listen to the Kirtan. We listen to the Gurbani. There we learn the discipline of our mind. That's the reason why we go to the Gurdwara or to the masjid or to the temple, right? That's why Maharaj says, Harmandar e Shreer hai, Gyan Ratan Pargat hoy. But if we are doing it for the rituals, then there is no benefit. मैं गुरुद्वारे जाना जी मेरे पाप धुल जाएंगे. I will go to Gurdwara and my sins will be washed. No, nothing is going to happen. Make your body as a Harmandir. The Sukham Shreer is a Harmandir. Enter that Harmandir. Enter your Sukham Shreer. Sukham Murat Naam Niranjan Kaya Kaka. That's the reason when we enter the Harmandir Sahib, in between there is Guru Granth Sahib Ji. It's the same location. If you will see, when we enter, inside, in between our matha, there is, in the forehead, there is a naam, there is a shabad, right? But if we are going there, we think that we will do matha take, we will bow our head, and all our sins will be washed. It's not going to happen by matha taking. There is a reason why we bow our head. We need to understand the reason. The reason to bow our head in front of Guru Granth Sahib Ji is that from today onwards, I am leaving my own mat, my wisdom, and I want to take your mat. And some people will go there in hurry to the Gurdwara Sahib. They will matha take and they will get out. What wisdom did you achieve today? But some people, they will have time. They will be in humility, in patience. They might not be sitting inside the Harmandir Sahib. They might be doing the seva in the Jodekar, where they take the shoes, right? They'll be very in love. They will be doing the seva. Maybe they're doing the seva in the langar. They're listening to the Gurbani. They're doing the seva. That is what we have to do. Satgur ki seva safal hai, jeko kare chit laye. When we are inside the Gurdwara, our mind should be connected to Vaheguru. When we are working also, our mind should be connected to the Vaheguru. Then you will make your workplace also Harmandir, if you are remembering Vaheguru. But if you are watching TV, pubs, clubs and discotheques, then even your house will become the house of ghosts, right? Wherever these things happens, alcohol and all these things happens, that place becomes a place of ghosts. Wherever the Gurbani is there, the wisdom is there, the Naam is there, the Simran is there, that place becomes the place of angels, Sheet Singhs. And then the Sheet Singhs will be there. They will do your para also. That's why Kabir Sahib says, I don't want to get into the rituals mentioned in so-called Vedas and Katebas. Kateb is Quran / Bible. It's the same thing. Old Testament of the Bible is same thing in the Quran. And then the Veds are the 4 Vedas, right? Maharaj is not criticizing Bible, Quran, or the Veds. He's saying, I don't want to get into the rituals of that, right? Ved Kateb te rahe nirara. I don't want to get into those rituals. Gaudi Kabir ji, Je Mukh Pancho Amrit Khaye. Now, Guru Pyaro, in Indian tradition, there are 5 pure things which are mentioned. I think there is like a milk and kyo, as in the butter, right? Sugar, these kind of things. There are 5 things, right? Say, Maharaj is saying, what if you are getting all these 5 foods every day? Are you gonna meet Vaheguru? Te mukh dekat lukat lai. Lukat is, when you put a fire on the funeral pyre, right? On dead body for the cremation. So Maharaj says that same face, same mouth is going to be burnt. वो मुंह सड़ जाना एक दिन. तो कहना है, you say, I eat only the pure foods. Maharaj says nothing is pure until or unless you don't have a naam, you don't have a shabad. It's not an amrit. But some people will say, they will eat the physical food. They'll say, oh, it's an amrit. मैं तो अमृत खा रहे हैं जी. No, Only the food is Amrit if it is Naam. Only the Naam is Amrit. Je mukh pancho Amrit khaye, te mukh dekhat lukat laye. Kende the same mouth, same face is going to be burnt in the funeral pyre. Te mukh dekhat, kende main dekhya, I've seen it. The same face, the same mouth. They used to say, oh, I drink, I eat all these pure things. Now the same face is getting burnt in the pure funeral pyre. Now Kabir Sahib is talking about himself. Ik dukh Ram Raye Kato Mera. Kande, I have only one dukh, one pain, and that is a pain we all have, Guru Pyare. Agan dahe ar garab basera. Kande, I don't want to come back again in this physical body, and again I am burnt in the fire. I don't want to come in the pregnancy, in the mother's womb, because inside the mother's womb also there's a lot of heat. There's a lot of heat inside for the baby also. It's being protected with the shell and all, right? Maharaj says, I don't want to come back in the reincarnation again and again. This is my dukh. I want to be mukat. I want to be liberated. I don't want to come into the physical form again. This is my dukh. This is my pain. Ik dukh Ram Rai, Vaheguru Ji. Ik dukh Ram Rai, ik kato mera. Cut this dukh. Cut this pain of mine. Agan dahe ar garab basera. I don't want to live in the mother's womb. I don't want to die or get cremated. I don't want to come in the physical form. Ik dukh Ram Rai kato mera. Agan dahe ar garab basera rahao. Kaya biguti bobid panti ko jare ko gadile mati. Can they, at the end of the day, this kaya, this physical body is going to become an ash. It's going to turn into ashes. Kaya biguti bobid panti. Multiple ways. Whether you cremate the body or whether you bury the body, it's going to turn into ashes one day, right? Kaya biguti bobid panti ko jare, maybe you burn it. Ko gadile mati, maybe you bury it. Anything you do, it is going to turn into ashes. Kaho Kabir, har charan dikhavo, pache te jam kyo na pathavo. And I don't want this birth. I don't want to come in the reincarnation. And Maharaj is telling us the way also. Can they show me your charan? Show me your feet. Show me your shabad. Show me your naam. That's why in these lectures we always say that the naam and the shabad, it has multiple forms depending upon your stage. Now the stage which Kabir Sahib is talking about is the stage of the Prakash, the darshan of Vaheguru. That is the Shabad. That is the Naam here in this stage. Sun sun naam tumhara pritam prabh pekhan ka chao. Kende pehla main tera naam japda si. First I used to chant with the tongue. Then I started listening to your Shabad. Now I want to see you also. Dikha diyo manu. Najar apni. I want to see your divine. I want to do your divine darshan. Kaho Kabir har charan dikhavo. I want to see your feet. It's not physical, it is Prakash Roop feet. It's a light, it's a jot. Kaho Kabir har charan dikhavo, pache te jam kyo na pathavo. Can they, why don't you send me? If I can see your feet by dying, then send the jams right now so that I can die and see it right away. I don't want to live. Because Kabir Sahib was in Bairag. This Shabad is written in Bairag, in the separation, right? He wants to meet Vaheguru. He's listening to Vaheguru. Now he wants to see Vaheguru, right? That's a stage. And Guru Pyaro, till the time the Bairag is not there, the love is not there, the crying is not there for separation. There are two kinds of separation. There are two types of crying. One crying is when we are crying because we have lost something physically or somebody physically. Physical thing, physical separation is there. But then Virag is something when we are separated from Vaheguru. And when then we cry out of love, then when will I meet Vaheguru? That is called Virag. So Kabir Sahib is writing this in Virag. He's saying, Kaho Kabir har charan dikhavo, pache te jam kyo na pathavo. Kende, why don't you send the jams right now, the jam right now to me so that I can see you, if that is the only way. But Gurbani says, Moya jit kar jaiye, tit jeev tya mar mar. Kende, where you have to go after the death, you can experience that while you are alive. Right? So that stage also comes. That's the beauty of the Bhagat Gurbani. Any Gurbani which is by Bhagat, it will tell you each and every stage. Wherever they were, they wrote it. And that's why Guru Arjan Dev Ji put all those Bhagats Gurbani. Many Bhagats came to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Started from Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the collection started happening. Guru Nanak Dev Ji just didn't wrote his own Bani. He also collected the Bani of other Bhagats also. Kabir Ji and Nam Dev Ji and all, they were all Samkalis from the same time. Just like, when we meet somebody, our friends and all, if we have a common topic, we discuss with each other. They all used to discuss with each other. The difference was Guru Nanak Dev Ji was Satguru from day one. Satguru means he was one with Vaheguru from the day one. Kabir Sahib and other Bhagats, they reached there. They were not Satguru from the day one. Kabir Sahib, when he left his body, even he went with his body. He was Satguru at that point of time. But it took time. So that's why Gurbani gives us a lot of hope and assurance that we can all reach to that stage. Our mind can all become Jot Swarup. Man tu Jot Swarup hai, apna mool pachan. Maybe in coming camps, we can discuss the whole Shabad. If you will read this Shabad, Mantu Jot Swarup hai apna mool pachan, that, oh mind, you are a light, recognize yourself. Every stage is mentioned there by Guru Amar Das Sache Pasha. Every step is mentioned by Guru Amar Das Sache Pasha. How to become a Jot Swarup. Maybe someday, maybe in a camp, it's a long Shabad. It will come anyway, because we are doing with Vaheguruji's Kirpa, with the grace of Vaheguru, with the blessing of Vaheguru, we are doing the Vichar. It will come one day, for sure. Aao ji Guru Pyaro. Any questions regarding this topic, this today's session? कोई भी क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हो तुसी?
हाँ जी, वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। वाहिगुरु जी,
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह जी।
हाँ जी वाहिगुरु जी, आप कह रहे ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਬਾਡੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਵੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ। ਮੇਰੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਆਇਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕੀਏ।
देखो, when we say Vaheguru Ji, है ना, it depends
हाँ जी,
what you're talking about.
हाँ जी,
See, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they told us two things: how you have to live in this physical world, and how you have to make sure your mind is ready to go and meet Vaheguru. Physical rahat is needed so that we understand, that's why Maharaj gave us this Khalsa Mero Roop Hai Khas, that my
हाँ
roop is
जी,
separate, different, that it shows that I am walking on the path of spirituality. But unfortunately, what has happened is that by just having a roop, there are people with the fake roop, right? They are fake. Inside there's something else, outside it is something else. That is not the roop which Maharaj gave us. Maharaj says you have to be khalis, you have to be pure, both outside and inside. Unfortunately, most of the people are fake. They outside, inside they don't have a love for Vaheguru. I hope it makes sense. So
हाँ जी
even
सर,
if you will go and take Amrit, Guru Pyareo,
हाँ जी,
they will tell you both the rats. They will not only tell you about the physical rat, they will also tell you, wake up in the morning, do the Simran, right?
हाँ जी,
And you need to have a guru. You need to have a guru. To have a guru, we have to come in the presence of the Panch Pyare. Then only
ਹਾਂਜੀ
we say that we have a Guru. It's a Guru-Sikh relationship. Panch Pyare is Guru Roop, right? And
ਹਾਂਜੀ
whatever
ਹਾਂਜੀ
instructions they give us, we do it. We don't question.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ठीक है? हाँ जी. And very good question. ਹੋਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਜੀ ਕੋਈ question? Anybody else has a question?
ਤੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਲਾਸਟ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਕਬੀਰ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਛੇ ਤੇ ਜੰਮ ਕੋਨਾ ਪਠਾਵੋ
Let me
something.
let me open it for you so that everybody can know what you're asking, my guru. हाँ जी. पाछे ते जम क्यों ना पठावूं? Patamu means tomorrow. Why don't you send the jumps to me tomorrow? That means
Okay.
why don't I die tomorrow? If the only way to meet you is by dying, if the only way to see you is dying, why don't I die, tomorrow?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ
ठीक है
ਜੀ
जी. हाँ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
जी.
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ
Any other question, Guru Pyareo? If not, आओ जी आप सासगिरा सिमरन करिए. वाह, tummy in, listen to your voice. Guru, tummy out, listen to your voice. आओ जी. वाह Guru, वाह Guru, वाह Guru, वाह Guru. सेवा कर लो गुरुमुखो. वाह Guru, वाह Guru, वाह.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। अंतर्गत सिमरन। संगत जी, मां नहीं बोले, मां नहीं सुने। वाहिगुरु जी, हम अवगुण परे, एक गुण नाही, अमृत छाड़ बिखे बिख खाही, माया मोह परम पै भूले, सुत दारा सिम प्रीत लगाई, एक उत्तम पंथ सुनियो गुर संगत, तह मिलंत जम त्रास मिटाई, एक अरदास पाठ कीरत की, गुरु रामदास राखो सरनाई, एक अरदास पाठ कीरत की, गुरु रामदास राखो सरनाई। ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਚੁੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਖਿਮਾ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ